We're doing this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully, by making it easier to show up every day, making the struggle a little bit more bearable, we'll make a whole bunch of progress towards our side splits. So, if you're concerned about hip mobility, trying to work on a little bit, want to get to the side splits, then you're in the right place because we do this every single day. So keep on coming back. Follow, subscribe, do all those cool things. I'm pretty sure, since I'm saying this at the beginning, everybody who's on right now is a subscriber or a follower. So cool. Let's get going. The first thing we're going to do is warm up, and warm up is going to be hip cars. Hip cars looks like this. We're lifting the knee as high as possible. We're opening it as wide as we can while keeping it high. We're going to rotate the leg. You don't have to turn. I just turned to show you what's going on. We're going to rotate the leg so that the ankle is as high as you can bring it. The knee is pretty high too. Then bring that leg back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull this knee behind the standing leg's knee, and that is 1 rep. This is all about using your muscles to get to your maximum range of motion. So work on that. Let's go. We're going to do 10 of these. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. 4. Back. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one on this side. 10. Whew. Give your hip a little massage, little shake, and let's move on to the other side. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. I'm going to do these at an angle. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one on this side. 10. Whew. Give a quick little hip pound in. Massage out the legs. We're going to go in reverse. Let's go. This is all the same moves that we are just doing, but going in reverse often causes people to go, what? What's my leg doing? So let's talk about it. Bring the leg down and back, hamstrings, glutes, flexing. Feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Lift the leg directly up to the side. Really focus on bringing the ankle up. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Then do the reverse. Rotate all the way down. Try to keep the knee up and high. Bring the knee to the front. And that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on this side, so let's go. You can lean onto something for a little bit of balance, especially if you're really focusing on lifting that leg as high as possible. Holding the wall really helps. Cool? Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee forward, side, back, ankle up, ankle down, forward. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. 10. Whew. Pound out that hip. Pound out the other one if you're holding your balance with just one leg. Let's go. One more. Last one for this hip, and we are done with hip cars. Going back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee forward. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee forward. Ooh. Got the hip crack on the second one today. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee forward. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle. knee. I think that's 6, 7, 8. Oh man, my bouncing leg is tired. 9 and 10. All right, that is hip cars. That is the first of our warm-up exercises. We just did a whole bunch, and I'm tired. Grab a sip of water, grab a sip of coffee. I'm gonna come check the chat real quick so that we can see what's going on. A lot of people have joined in. A lot of people are here. Pink Tea says hi. Abundancia, welcome back. Pink Tea, welcome back. Korean Chick, welcome back. Or maybe welcome for the first time. I'm not actually sure. Is this your first time commenting? Okay. Whew. Let's go. We just finished the first of our warm-up exercises, the hip cars. Now it's time to move into round 2. Looks a little bit like this. We are getting into the elephant walk. The focus here is your hamstrings, and I want you to fold and bring your belly button down as much as you can. This is just a warm-up, so you don't have to do anything crazy or intense yet. If your flexibility is limited and you are a little bit higher up, that's totally okay. Just focus on bringing your belly button down, and your hamstrings will tighten up. Whew. From here, if you have slightly achy knees, when you keep them straight, you can give them a slight bend. That is absolutely a-okay. And we're just going to hang out here for a little bit, just a couple of seconds. We're going to wiggle, shift around, nothing super intense. And breathe. All right, now we're going to start bending one leg at a time. And switching a little bit from side to side. I'm going to spin around so you can see this a little clearer. I think I do it on the side a lot. I don't know if facing you actually makes it any clearer. But as we switch which knee is bent, I want you to really focus on bringing that belly button down, feeling the intense hamstring stretch and moving through it. I want you to feel the leg muscles, the leg tissues near your hamstrings or your hamstrings themselves kind of shifting around. And it is going to be really hard to tell what is your hamstring shifting around and what is not your hamstring shifting around, so you don't have to worry about that. Just, if it feels a little bit uncomfortable in the hamstrings, you feel things wiggling and moving, that is normal, and that is what we're trying to do. All right, let's do 5 more seconds of these, and then we'll add in some thoracic rotation. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Already in this position, so you don't have to come back into standing, but I want to give you a reminder that we do this every day for 45-ish minutes or so, and it is all about live side splits, stretching. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build community, and to make the suffering on the floor a little bit more bearable with my good vibes, with your good vibes in the chat. And hopefully, together, we'll make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. So if you're having fun, if you're liking the idea of working out with somebody on the other side of the world or whatever on the internet, so you don't have to commute to the gym, then come in, join up, hang out here, and we got 45 more minutes to go. So hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. All right, we just did the elephant walk with the knee bend. We hung out here for a little bit. Now we're going to do some thoracic rotation. So from this position, I'm going to bend my left leg. I know my pants make it hard to tell that I'm bending the knee. So I'm telling you, my left leg is bending. And I'm getting some information from IT. All right, my left leg is bent. My right leg is straight. I'm reaching my hand across to the right leg, and I am pushing against it to rotate the chest. Rotate and bring the arm up into the air. I'm looking at the hand that is up. I'm trying to reach it behind me. You're supposed to feel a little bit of a stretch in your back, but as you reach back, your shoulders will feel it because they're also trying to pull your whole entire body that way. Let's switch it up, go to the other side. Right now, my right knee is bent, my left leg is straight, my right hand pushes against my left leg, and I am opening up the chest to the left extending my left arm into the air, looking at the left hand, trying to bring it behind me, and come back down towards center. I'm going to do it from a couple of different angles, and we're going to do a total of 5 of these. Take them nice and slow, really reach as you go, and let's go. Left leg is bent, right leg is straight, left hand pushing against the right leg to help bring the chest as it rotates to the right. Right hand is up in the air, reaching behind you. Your eyes are looking at those fingers, marking where it is at. Switch to the other side. That's 2. And 3. Next time you get to the top of your position, try to bring your belly button down, really engage those hamstrings. And down. That's 4. And last one. 5. Whew. Okay, thoracic rotations are done. I hope you're feeling a little looser in your shoulders, in your back, because that is pretty much all of the non-leg stuff that we're gonna do. Let me check the chat real quick for a second. Gayeta says, it's worth it. Lulu says, hello, I'm ready for my best class, let's go. I love it, I appreciate the good vibes. Zelita says, we'll be back for class tomorrow, this was good. We haven't even started, it's been 10 minutes. Travel with Roxy says, hi. And Cassie says, I almost fell and busted my head low, but I was good. I popped my hip. Okay, wow, that is a lot of stuff. Please be careful. I'm gonna just focus on the middle part where you said, but it was good. Cool, yeah, all right, I'm gonna scroll. All right, that was 2 of our warm-up exercises. Let's get into warm-up exercise number 3. It is called the Cossack switch. I call this the warm-up because it's supposed to get your body moving and get your blood pumping and your heart rate up a little bit. But this is probably going to be the most difficult exercise that we're going to do because we're actually really working out. Cool. This is called the Cossack switch. We're opening up our legs decently wide and we're trying to drop down to one side and do something that looks like this. Yours doesn't have to look just like mine. You can adjust for your own capability. All I ask is that if your toes are pointing out in some direction, your knee travels in the same direction. I want your knee to go in like this. I want your knee to go out like that. And I want your knee to travel in the same direction as your toes. So I'm going to exaggerate out really wide this way so you can see what's happening. But you can choose what angle you're going to point your toes and knees. From here, as we hit deeper into this stretch, I want you to feel the stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves. I want you to feel a little bit of pressure in the front of that ankle, a little bit of pressure in that hip. And I want you to try your best to rest here for a little bit. It's going to be totally normal if your quads are firing really hard trying to keep you upright. And what I recommend is sitting down so that your hamstrings are touching your calves and you're not using your muscles to hold you up anymore. Your heel, very possibly, is going to come really high up. Try to keep your heel low, and that's it. Cool. While we hang out in this position, it's a little scrunched up on this side. This leg over here is got its heel down, the toes up, and the knees up. This is called external leg rotation because we're rotating and the toes are going towards the outside of our body. Cool. This is super important for the side split at the tail end. So we're going to introduce it right now and fill some time while we wait for this hip to get a little bit more used to being in this position. Think about stuff to talk about. So let's shift over to the other side. Put your hands down on the floor. Try to keep your butt really low and come over to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing. Same thing. Knees are traveling in the same direction. The toes are pointing. I want you to feel the calf stretch and the Achilles tendon. I want you to feel the pressure in the ankle. I want you to feel the pressure in the hip. If you just stay like this, your quads are going to fire and it's going to be really tiring. So go forward just a little bit. Hang out. You'll still have the Achilles stretch. You'll still have the ankle. And you'll still have the hip. But your heel is coming slightly off the ground. so that you can actually rest in this position a little bit. Okay? Again, this side. Heels down, toes up, knees up. We need it for the side splits. In fact, this is basically a partial side split. This is the exact same position we're going to be in, just on one half of the body. From here, we're going to do the actual switching part of the Cossack switch, which means the intensity is going to go up a little bit. And we're going to try to go from side to side about 10 times. The goal is to keep the butt, the hips low to the ground so you can work on that really deep range of motion. But what that means for everybody is going to be a little bit different. If your hips are really tight and you've never been this low before, maybe your hips just have to be a lot higher. That is absolutely a-okay. So what we're doing right now is the same thing that we did to come from side to side. We put our hands down and helping to shift our weight from side to side. If you're ready for something a little bit more advanced, you can tuck those hands away and try to do the same thing. This works your balance a little bit more. Your lower back is going to work a little bit more to help hold you. And you're going to feel the weight of your body a little bit more. If you want to make this even more intense, you can straighten up your back, stick your arms out in front of you for some counterbalancing, and keep going. If at all your knees are starting to be uncomfortable, you can pause, take a deep breath, and you can focus on seeing if doing the big, powerful strength moves solves some of your knee discomfort. If you come down nice and slow and come into that resting-ish position at the bottom, you can try to do a full squat up and then come all the way down to the other side so that there's less of this twisting down here going on. Whew. All right, I have absolutely no idea how many I've done, and I haven't been counting, but I'm pretty confident I've done like 10. So I hope you guys have been counting how many you've been doing, because we wanted to do something like 10. If you're looking for a challenge, feel free to do as many as you can with however much time that we end up spending here. Whew. And I think that's it. Is there anything else to talk about when we do these? Switch. Let's just do a couple more. You might feel like you've gotten a lot smoother over the last couple of reps, and I really want you to try to spend time in the bottomed out position. I know it's really cool to be like, oh, look at how strong I am, or ooh yeah, like everything in between. I'm going super fast, but we are doing this for the side splits, so try to spend a little bit of time on each of these end positions to really squish the hip over here and to lengthen that leg over there. Whew. All right, that's it. I'm sweating and I'm trying to fix my pants. Whew. That is the warm-up. I'm gonna come back, drink my coffee, and keep on scrolling through the chat. Galletas de Dios mío. Oh no, I wonder what's going on in the chat. I don't know if I want to know. Okay. Oh yes, that's the warm up. Don't worry. This is a stretching thing, right? So like we're just warming up the muscles. We're getting them loosed up. We're getting them moving so that when we stretch and we put less intensity into them, they'll actually respond. Does that make sense? Like if you come into this totally cold, it'll be like, and then we'll be stuck here for 30 seconds. But after we've done that really intense, super sweaty warm up, your body will respond a little bit better and you'll get more out of the stretches. I promise that's how that works. I don't actually know if that's how that works. Based on my own tests, we can't miss the Cossack switches. I've missed them before, and it was a huge pain in the butt. The whole entire stretch series for the rest of the day was way, way worse. However, I ran that test like 8 months ago, so I don't know if it's true anymore. If you want, you can come back tomorrow and you can skip the Cossack switches and then compare how you perform today versus tomorrow. Report back. I want to know. I want to know the answer. Okay. Whew. It's time. We're going to move on into the stretches. The first stretch is the hamstring stretch. I recommend you grab a cushion, grab something soft to pad your knee, because we're going to put that knee down, and it needs a little bit of protection. So you can go grab some flip-flops, some old sneakers, anything that's got a little bit of foam in it. If you got a yoga block, that will work. I usually make jokes about stealing your dog's bed or your least favorite child's pillow. But I don't know, sometimes that seems a little bit mean. It's okay. Anyways, moving on. Let's go. We're keeping our hips and our shoulders and our head pointed all in the same direction, directly in front of us. We're going to stick this leg directly in front of us as well. And the goal is to bring the belly button down to the thigh. And if you're feeling really, really stretchy today, you can try to bring it even further down. That's the hamstring stretch. That's the whole thing. Let's talk about a little bit of technique and a little bit of tips, I guess, to focus on the right things. I don't want you to fully extend your leg out like this, like we're doing a front split. I want you to pull your leg into the hip socket. So I want you to become smaller, I guess. And you might need to widen your stance just a little bit to help you with balance. All right. Then focus on bringing the belly button down. And your hamstrings will tighten up and they'll be super uncomfortable. Cool. That's the basics. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a big, deep inhale. Slowly exhale. And try to fold deeper as we exhale. Okay. Take some normal breaths. Acknowledge the suck. Acknowledge the tingly sensations. And let's go again. Big, deep inhale. Exhale. Exhale. Try to sink deeper into the stretch. Really focus on bringing the belly button down. Try to keep your back straight-ish. It's not as important if your belly button is already moved all the way over to the other side. And once you're as deep as you think you're going to get for today, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. We're just holding the stretch. If you want to get fancy, you can do a little bit of little pulses. You can try really hard to squeeze your whole body down into this stretch, but you don't have to. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, almost done, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the hamstring stretch on one side. It's done. Take a rest. Take a little bit of a breath. Sip some water if you need to. And come on over. Switch to the other side. There's a little pointy zipper over here that I imagine will poke me one day. It hasn't poked me yet so far in the last like 40 days, but I went to touch it anyway because I was like, that will poke me later. Okay, let's go. We're in position. Pull the leg into the hip socket. Really focus on folding forward. Bring the belly button down to the thigh. Breathe, relax. Keep on focusing on bringing that belly button down. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in that outer hip, sort of in your side butt, just a little bit. As you focus on bringing your belly button down. Okay, let's do our inhale, exhale. Inhale. Slow exhale. Get deeper. Take some normal breaths. Try to relax. Let's go. Inhale again. Exhale. All right. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Again, focus on bringing the belly button down to touch the thigh, or to, past the thigh if you're super flexible. 19, 18, 17, 16. You can add some little mini pulses. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on up and out of that stretch. It should feel really intense as you're getting out, but it should also basically completely go away by the time you're standing. You'll be like, wait, really? That was pretty bad. It's over? That's it? Huh. Well, that is our hamstring stretch. That is the first of our 5 stretches. We don't need the cushion anymore. You can kick it away. We have number 2, and we're going to go right into it. The second stretch is the butterfly stretch, and it looks a little bit like this. We bring the feet together, we pull them in, your knees come up, and the goal is to sort of fold forward and bring the knees down. Except it's kind of hard if you have tight hamstrings, if your hips don't fold forward very well. It's really hard to apply pressure into your knees. So I recommend you get your butt to a wall. When your butt is at the wall, your shoulders are on the wall, and your head is on the wall. 1, you have really nice straight posture. It's a good reminder of what a straight back actually feels like. And 2, you have something to push against. That wall that we're pushing against, which you can substitute for anything that is basically stable to push against, is going to help keep your back straight, but it's also give you something to push against so that you can focus your energy on opening up the groin in this groin stretch. So what we're doing is we're trying to bring the knees down to the ground. And I want you to do this with muscle power because I want you to get stronger every chance that we get, even though we call this stretching. But really, it should be especially because we're stretching. Right now, I want you to use these outer thigh muscles. I want you to use these glutes, contract them, and try your best to bring your knees down into the ground. You'll feel a stretch here in the groin, in the center of your legs, and that is absolutely what you should be feeling. Oh. Make a couple adjustments so that you can really focus on bringing your knees down to the ground. What those adjustments might just be shifting your butt further and getting it closer to the wall, because sometimes you might just like slip away from it when you're in a position that your body is not used to. Or if your feet are really slippery and your floor is really slippery, you might just have your feet slide out, and that means you're gonna have to adjust a couple more times to try and get your hips and shoulders back to the wall. All right, I hope you've experimented and figured out how to open up those legs, because we're gonna hold it for another 30 seconds. Once you're here, apply some pressure with your hands. If you push down, you might notice that there's pressure in the back of your head, maybe in your shoulders from the wall, and that's basically the wall helping you to push your knees down. That is good. So you're here, we're pushing down, we're opening with our muscles. 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, remember to breathe, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost done, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, first start by letting the hands go. Then give yourself a little support with the hips and the legs. Flap them up like they're butterfly wings in this butterfly stretch. And once you've done that a little bit, your legs should start feeling more or less normal again, and you can get out of that stretch. It is totally normal if for a moment there you're like, wait, how do I move my legs? What's happening right now? That is because we stretched out, and we're contracting the outer thighs and the glutes so hard to open up our legs for so long that the rest of the brain just forgot how to work for a little bit. And that's totally fine. That's normal. Don't worry about it. That sounds really ominous. Anyways, moving on to stretch number 3, we're doing the standing pancake. Standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're opening up the legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. Doesn't have to be super impressive like we're going into a deep split. Just decently wide. And the goal is to focus on folding on the hips and bring the belly button down towards the ground. If you're wondering why I keep on talking about the belly button all the time, it's because the belly button is at the top of the hips. Right here. My hips bone is like right here, my belly button's like right here. So if you focus on bringing the belly button down and forward, because is literally in the middle of the direction that you're trying to go, it's an easier way to visualize what you're trying to do than saying fold your hips forward, in my opinion. Okay, belly button down. We're gonna try and get into this 90-degree position, and this is basically the position where gravity gives us the most help. All of this, your upper body is getting pulled down by gravity, and it's making the stretch more intense. Cool? That's basically it. Get into a stretchy position. If you've been doing this for a while, figure out how deep you want to get, and focus on bringing the belly button down. We want to close this angle, right? We're at 90 degrees. Now maybe we're at like 80, maybe at 70. We want to get down to something squished, pancake. So try your best. Stick your butt back behind you. Stick your arms out in front of you and try to bring the belly button down to the ground. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh. Put your hands down. Slowly bring your legs back in together. If you did that right, you're going to feel the stretch in two main places. One is the adductors, which are designed to pull the leg in towards the center of your body. We're doing the opposite of that, stretching them out that way, so they're freaking out and they're contracting really hard. And then the hamstrings. The hamstrings connect basically from your hips down to just below the knee. So anytime you fold forward, it doesn't matter if you're just trying to touch your toes or if you're trying to do something with your legs open, they're going to be unhappy when you get super, super, super deep into that stretch. So with that, I hope you've taken some breath. I hope you've relaxed for a second because we're going to get into the next stretch. Stretch number 4. I'm going to take another sip of coffee. That might have been a gulp and not a sip. I might have done that too fast. Whew. And it's time to move on. 4th stretch. It is the pigeon stretch, I believe. Today we alternate between the pigeon and the figure 4 because they basically work the same muscles. And the muscles that we're doing are these. In the outer hip and the side glute. We're bringing the ankle up and we're bringing our chest down, but really I guess we care mostly about the belly button. And feeling a stretch out here. So if you know what the pigeon looks like, it looks like this more or less. You can get right into it. Just make sure your ankle stays pushed away from you. We did figure 4 yesterday, so we don't need to do figure 4 again. And I'm looking for some props. There we go. Boom. Props. As I go on and talk about the pigeon stretch, if you are familiar and you want to, you can start doing them right away. For everybody else who is not familiar, the pigeon stretch looks a little bit like this. We're bringing the ankle across the body, and I want you to try to bring the middle of your chest to sort of the middle of your leg. All right, middle of the leg being between your knee and your ankle bone. That's the majority of it. From the side, it should look something like this. Your hips are low, and you're trying to bring your chest down towards the ground. We're folding forward. You're feeling the stretch out here in the side of the butt. And let's talk about this back leg. In a lot of yoga and stuff, you might see videos of people sticking that leg really far straight back. You don't have to do that if you can't. If you're struggling with it, you can bend your leg. But if you really want to get that position, you're like, Ken, you're not even going to help us work on getting there? Come on. Then here is my tip for that. You want to elevate the front leg a little bit. In this case, I'm using yoga blocks, and this is definitely not the most stable way to do this. So find something else. But because you're elevating your hips off the ground a little bit, this back leg doesn't have to maintain a sharp angle or as sharp as before. So it's easier for you to get in this position with your leg straight behind you. You can do this a variety of ways, and you're just gonna have to imagine, I guess, if you had your leg this high up, then the leg would be straight, right? You don't have to lean very far back at all. If you get it somewhere here, then you'll be able to have the hip doing this thing. Cool? That's it. That's the pigeon stretch. Let's go and get into position. Stick that leg behind you if you can. If you can't, bend it behind you. Focus on keeping the hips low. Try to get the midpoint of your chest to the midpoint between your knee and ankle. And finally, this ankle, keep it pushed away from you. If it tucks in like this, your heel is in your groin, it's gonna be a way easier stretch. You might not even feel anything at all. And that happens when you're just chilling. Your body's gonna find the most comfortable, easy way for you to chill in that spot. So you gotta work a little bit and push that ankle away from you. All right, let's go. Get into position, 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Remember, the goal is to feel it in this hip, in this outer glute-ish area. So if you're not feeling it there, adjust, tweak it. Keep the hips low. Try to straighten the back a little bit because you'll really feel the weight of your head pulling you down. If you just relax and your head is all the way down, it's fine. The stretch will just be a little bit less intense. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, spin that around. Oh, come on over to the other side. Same thing, mid chest, mid leg. Try to get the leg behind you. Elevate if you need to. Keep that ankle away from you. Push it away. Keep the hips low. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. I find it much harder to notice, but your legs will most likely have different amounts of flexibility on each side, and that is totally normal. In the figure 4 stretch that we do every other day, it's easier to notice when one hip is performing a little bit different than the other. I think it's a little bit harder to notice in the pigeon because the hip is going to be all the way back here and you're mostly focused on just experiencing the pain. So if you're noticing that one hip is higher than the other, I think my right hip is definitely higher. That is totally normal. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ooh, come on up out of that stretch. And we are done with 4 of our 5 stretches. All we have left is the side splits. We do the side splits a little bit differently than how we have been doing the other stretches so far. We do 3 rounds of the side splits. So take a sip of water, get emotionally prepared. We are going to be going right into it in just a minute. Alec 400 says, lift off. I have no idea what the context is, but that's okay. Hey Alec, welcome back. It's good to see you. Mary Lucuna asked, when do I go live? It's 9 p.m. Eastern every single day. Gayata says, Ken, don't play, keep going. Oh, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. All right. On that note, I'll stop drinking water too. Let's get into some side splits. I spilled water all over my pants. Just ignore it, please. I did not pee myself. All right. Safety. First thing we're going to talk about is stretching and safety and feeling secure. When we are doing stretches, we want to have tension be let go, relaxed, right? And it's really hard to do that if you're in a position where you're freaking out and going, oh my God, what if I fall? What if I bust my butt? Right? So, what I'm gonna tell you about right now is your new best friend, the wall. We used it for everything, now it's gonna keep us safe. If you stand one step in front of the wall, 8 to 12 inches or so, and you get into this deep side split-ish position, if you start falling forward, no big deal, your hands can catch you. But if you start falling backwards, it can feel really scary, and you can be like, oh no, what's going on? And you're like swimming through space before you collapse onto the ground. But if you have the wall right behind you, maybe your hips will smash into the wall, maybe your shoulder will smash into the wall, and it'll only have traveled like 6 inches. Instead of falling all the way down to the floor and smashing your butt into the ground, the wall was there to save you, and it caught you much earlier. Cool? So that's the wall. Get close to it. It'll help keep you safe. It'll help keep you feeling like this isn't so bad. Cool? All right. Now that we're already here, let's get into a deep side split-ish position. Focus on folding at the hips. Put your hands down. See if you can almost do a mini push-up from here. And if you can, that means some of your body weight is in your arms. And that is good, because with that pressure reduced in our legs, we can externally rotate. That means your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Breathe. Slowly sit into this stretch. Walk your hands back towards your hips and put that weight right back into the legs. The stretch is going to get more and more intense. Just breathe. Don't hold your breath. And once you are as deep as you think you can get for today, I want you to do one last tiny wiggle from side to side to see if it's just a little bit of friction in your feet holding you back from a slightly deeper stretch. Once you're here, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're almost done, 1, 0. All right, crawl your hands forward. Pull the legs in. Collapse on the ground. Lie down if you need to. Breathe. And come back into kneeling. Then come back into standing when you can. You don't have to do it super fast. Okay. Once you're up, let's shake it out. What we just did was put a whole bunch of pressure into our legs, cause them to contract really hard. So now what we're trying to do is relax them as much as possible so that we can reset for the next round of side splits. So what I'm doing, I have most recently called it the flick. Like we're trying to dry our legs and dry our hands after we just washed them and there's no paper towels. This flick, and if you do a couple seconds on either side, is basically a very easy version of what I call forced relaxation. And what we're doing is just trying to get our legs to be like Jello, to be floppy, to be relaxed, to be loose, to be like you just boiled some spaghetti and you're pulling it out of the pot and it's like that feeling. Cool? The reason why we care about this is because we want to reduce and get rid of as much tension as we can in between each of these side splits. And we want to do it as fast as possible. When your legs are shaking and they're flopping around and is really loose, there's no way it's holding on to a bunch of tension. If it was, you'd be moving more like a robot, or like after you got a big bicep pump after working out, right? Your whole arm is like, Anyways, now that your leg is shaken out, we're gonna do a couple of joint checks. We're gonna do some hip circles, just 1 or 2. Make sure nothing feels weird, nothing hurts. We're gonna do a couple of high knees. Then we're gonna do a mini squat. Put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure in the ankle, put some pressure into the toes. Do a calf raise if you can. And if you've done all those things, nothing feels painful, then your joints are working fine. And we're ready to continue with round 2 of the side splits. Whew. Take a big breath of air, relax for a second, reduce some tension, feel floppy, and let's go. Get back to that wall for safety. One step in front of it. Open up those legs nice and wide. Breathe, fold forward. Put your hands down like you're going to do a push-up. Externally rotate the legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up on both sides. And keep breathing. Nice and gentle. See if you can slide into a deeper side split position already from here. Walk your hands back. Get into a deeper position with all of your weight back into your legs. And one last wiggle from side to side to make sure you're as deep as you can get. That's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward, pull the knees in. Whew. You can kneel here for a second. If you have stuff stuck in your hands because your floor is not so clean, like me, you can dust them off. Come into standing, and let's keep flicking. We talked about why we flick, so now let's work on some flicking form. Flick, 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 flick. Just really imagine your legs, your hands are wet, and you're like, ooh. Just throw them over there into the side and hope the water goes flying off your toes and flying off your fingers. As you get more comfortable with this, you can pick up the intensity. You can sort of, and I'll show you from the side, have a lot more action coming from the knee, coming from the hip. I also want you to try your best to add a little bit from left to right. You don't have to focus on that right now. Just focus on one thing at a time. But we're going to add in the left and the right very intentionally. We're going to rotate the leg and mostly the hip from inside to outside. This is the stanky leg. You don't have to do anything super intense. You don't have to go like maximum range of motion. This is every little bit of rotation that we can get. Keep it nice and gentle just to make sure that that feels good, feels loose. All right, 5 more seconds on each leg. And that is shaking it out. Let's go ahead and check our joints real quick. Hip circles. You can take these a little bit slower this time around. Just make sure you're really feeling that full range of motion before you move on. Make sure nothing is feeling weird or achy or hurts. Come on into that half squat. Put some pressure into the knees. Put some pressure into the ankles. Put some pressure into the toes. Calf raise a little bit if you want. And if those are all working and everything feels smooth, then we're ready for round 3 of the side splits. Again, before we jump into those, we want to rest. We want to be relaxed. We want to relieve as much tension as possible in the body. So let's shake a little bit more. This is the last round, so make it count. Shake, 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 shake. If you're confused why we're doing this, because you're just joining in, we do 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build some community, and to make the suffering of stretching every day a little more fun, a little less stressful. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep on coming back. We do this every day, basically starting like 45-ish minutes ago. I have no idea what time it is. All right, once your legs are shaked out, let's get ready to do that 3rd round of side splits. take that one step in front of the wall for safety. Open up those legs decently wide. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Fold forward. Put your hands down like you're going to do a little push-up. That's going to reduce the tension and pressure in your legs so that you can externally rotate a little easier. Your heels are down. Your toes are up. Your knees are pointing up. I don't know why I smacked my knee so hard. That kind of hurt. Heels are down. Toes are up. And knees are pointing up. Walk those hands back towards your hips. Slowly slip deeper into a deeper stretched position. Breathe. And finally, let's do that last little wiggle to break the friction holding our feet back. Once you are as deep as you can get, let's go. 30 seconds. Last round. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost done, 2, 1, 0. I don't know why I put 5 hands up or 5 fingers up for 0, but you get the idea. Oh, walk those hands forward, pull the knees in. If they're super tired and you're struggling to get out of it, that is 100% normal. Relax, breathe, come back into standing. We're gonna shake it out one last time because I don't want you to go back out into the rest of your normal life with your legs not working super smooth. So shake, 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 flick, 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 flick. Spend at least 10 seconds on each leg. Keep going, keep going. As you get more familiar with this, you can start being more aggressive and you'll relax much faster. It's just something that comes with practice. And I want you to add in those hip rotations. Do the stanky leg. Do both legs at the same time. And once your hips are feeling pretty good, your legs are working just fine, then we're basically done. Let's do one last round of joint checks. Make sure everything is actually fine and working well together, and then we'll be ready to go. That was hip circles, high knees, mini squat. Ooh, my left ankle is feeling a little bit tense. Maybe I shook out my ankle a little too hard just now. Pressure in the knees, pressure in the ankles, come up onto those toes, do a little bit of a calf raise, and if those all feel good, they feel fine, then we are done for today. Congratulations. Thank you for hanging out, for sticking all the way through to practice some side splits. We went from warm up all the way to 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom and see what we have done so far. Oh no, Nugget. You just got here? We just wrapped up. We are 53 minutes in. Hey, that's good. I said roughly 45 minutes. 53 is like not that far off from 45. Gayata says, thanks, Ken. I gotta hop off. See everyone tomorrow. Gayata, thank you for being here. Thank you for keeping me on task and focused on the stretching. I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, everybody, drink some water. Relax. Dearest Way says, thank you. This really helped. Lovely. I'm very happy that you got to stretch and feel like it was rewarding. All right. I feel like there's a lot of information and content out there, right? I'm not introducing anything new to the world information wise, but a lot of the time it's hard to just sit down and do it. I can't tell you how many YouTube videos I've done like a third of and be like, not today. I'm gonna go do something else. So hopefully me being here, bringing good vibes, trying to add a little bit of personality, some fun, some lighthearted jokes, reacting to comments makes it a little bit more fun for you to focus on getting those stretches done. Alec 400 says, yeah, these techniques help me reach new running records. Tight hamstrings are no fun. What? I need to take a screenshot. This is crazy. Hold on. I look like a total hobgoblin right now. I don't think that made it any better. Okay. Thank you, Alec, for the fun, I don't know, testimonial. Darius Way says, I've been jogging and not stretching beforehand. This really helps. Oh, that's really good. I'm so proud of you. Keep jogging. Keep on finding ways to move that you enjoy. And yeah, the more prepared your body is, the more fun you have. Because when you first start jogging, especially because it's getting colder now, your knees are going to start, be unhappy and stuff. So the warmer you are, the easier it will be to start the run. The easier it will be to keep running because your knees will just not be mad at you. Michelle says, I did the last 2 stretches and feel great. Amazing. That's crazy. If I jumped into just the last 2 stretches, wait, what is the last 2 stretches? The side splits and the pigeon. Okay, the pigeon I feel like I could jump into cold and not feel miserable. But if I jumped into the side splits cold, I feel like I would need 6-7 rounds of that exact side split thing that we did to get to the same position that we ended up at in the 3rd round. Probably. At first says, I did. LOL. You did 7 rounds? Hold on. What are you responding to? Is it that you just jumped in and you're like, I'm gonna crush whatever is left of this workout? Good on you. I appreciate it. There's a lot of people who pop in and they go, oh, this is really cool. I like it. I'm gonna come back tomorrow so I can be here for the whole thing. And that is a perfectly okay mentality. There's no problem with that. I'm not complaining or anything. But I really appreciate the people who go, oh, this is badass. I'm gonna jump in and do it, even if it might hurt a little bit because I'm not prepared. That is a really aggressive mentality, and sometimes it leads to fun things. So kudos to you for being here. Ever says, I jumped into the side splits. That's when I got here. Yeah, I will set an alarm. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Cool. Just, keep your pain in mind and discomfort in mind so that you don't get hurt. Don't actually jump into the side splits, just gently, smoothly wiggle your way into the side splits slowly. And I hope you had fun. Okay. I think I have covered most of the chat. Jana says this was fun. Good night, good night, good night, good night. And I think I have covered most of the chat. I'm gonna keep scrolling real quick. Lulu says, thank you for the motivation each day. Of course. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing, right? Because at the end of the day, it's you showing up and being excited to be here that keeps me excited to be here too. Pink T says, thank you so much. Michelle says, hope I make it closer to 9 tomorrow. Yeah, it's tough. Scheduling is hard. I try my best to start at 9 as well. And I cannot get the phone set up on time every single day. So sometimes I also start a couple minutes late. And I think, we're just trying to be healthy and trying to do good things for ourselves. So you can be gracious and give yourself some appreciation for being here, for following through, for doing all the things that you did, because at the end of the day, it's just a couple of minutes. Cool. So take care of yourself. Don't feel super stressed about trying to be here for every possible minute. Do your best, and that's all you can do, right? Alex said, Galleta, like you speak Spanish. I mean, I took some Spanish in middle school, and 2 L's together make a Y sound. So that's about as good as my Spanish is. All right. I think I've scrolled through most of the chat. I'm pretty much at the bottom. Abundancia says, thank you, Ken, and everyone. Yes, the chat has been lovely today. Very good vibes. I appreciate you guys for being here and for keeping up the energy and keeping this a positive place where we can do some stretches. So I appreciate you all, and I hope you have fun. Eduardo on YouTube. I'm sorry, I have been staring at the TikTok phone and not the Eduardo phone. Thank you for being here. And thank you for always sending really good vibes. Always, every single time. I appreciate you. Alec 400 says, I will get the pistol squat, bro. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but hey, smiley face. I believe in you. The pistol squat is a bunch of different things. And we can talk about that real quick. I got a couple minutes. The pistol squat, I feel like, is 3 different movements. All right, I'm going to find a chair that looks a little safe. It is the pure leg strength that you need, right? And I think if you have a very stable chair, something not like this is wiggling and creakling and it's sounding really scary. If you have something to step on, like a park bench or something, and you can pretend that my leg here is not super bent, if you can extend that leg all the way, you've already got enough strength in the leg to do the pistol squat, right? Like that's basically the whole motion. You're going from this really tight curled up ball and you're going all the way to fully extended. So if you can do that really deep step up, you've already got enough strength for the pistol squat. Now you're working on, or now you need to focus on all the other little pieces that you're going to be struggling with because the pistol squat is hard. One of them is trying to stay in this sort of tucked position using your strength, right? Because part of the reason why we're stretching the hamstrings is so that we can fold forward and hang out in something close to this position a little bit more comfortably, right? Ugh. Okay, here we go. Boom. Once you're in position, if you're able to maintain a position where your back isn't going all the way out here and your leg is all the way forward, like so, it'll be much easier for you to use the power in this leg to step up, right? So I recommend, if you're just getting your first couple of reps in, just give your butt a little bit of support. Get it down into that tight leg compressed position and try to get up from there. As you get a little bit more comfortable in the seated position, you'll notice that it's easiest when you can bring your chest forward and focus on the pistol squat like that. What else we got? So we got the chest folding forward. And the other thing that I think people get stuck on is what's going on with this other leg. If you start from the very beginning, keeping your leg like fully extended, and you go down and up, is really hard on the hip flexors, these muscles that are holding up your leg. So take it chill, relax. Don't focus so hard on that. You can keep your leg nice and low. And as you go down, you can do the bare minimum to keep your leg up off the ground. You're still holding more or less the same weight, but it'll be easier to focus on the balancing stuff and not focus on how do I keep this leg as high as possible, because that's typically going to be a weaker muscle and needs a little bit of work, right? Once you've gotten the pistol squat and you're starting to get comfortable in it, you can focus on all those things again, but you got to get comfortable doing them first before you start perfecting the technique. What else we got? I feel like there's one other detail where if you are not super strong in your hips yet, you might wiggle a little bit from side to side to help balance. And that wiggling is going to throw off sort of your angles, right? And if you're doing more of this, like swinging from side to side, it becomes much more difficult to finish the pistol. So I want you to try to really contract the core, lock those glutes in, become like a really stiff board, and focus on going just forward and I guess up and down, forward and up and down. I hope that helps. Okay, cool. That is some quick pistol squat information. Evera says, what got you started on this account? Ooh, asking the meaningful questions. So, I have wanted to do the side splits for like 15 years. And I have started them, done like a week of stretching, and then stopped probably like 30 times, like twice a year. And this time around, I was like, no, I'm gonna follow through. I'm gonna do it. And part of it was I was struggling in my personal life to figure out, and I guess my work life, to figure out what I was doing. I didn't feel like I was growing anymore, and I feel like the work I was doing was particularly meaningful, and I was just not in a very good uh, mental state. So I was like, I just need to do something, anything, get consistent, show that I'm making progress to really prove to myself that um, if I set my mind to it, I can keep on working at something and make progress, right? Because I was feeling, especially during COVID, my last business was struggling a little bit, and it was just lots of bad vibes, and I was like, what's going on? So the transition out of that business into doing other stuff was challenging, and eventually I was like, I just need something to start over to sort of focus on, and that turned into this account. The goal was to be super consistent, right? Number one, because I know that consistency was the value that would make the most difference. So it didn't matter how much stretching I did, I just needed to make sure that I kept stretching. And the side split was chosen because I've always wanted to do it. And if I'm going to focus on something, I'm going to focus on something that I actually want to do. If I just chose some arbitrary cool sounding thing that I didn't actually care about, there's no chance I would have stuck with it. And what else? I also wanted to start understanding social media a little bit better. And so it naturally combined into, hey, I'm going to do this live because I'm going to be consistent this way because I'm proving to, the internet through some algorithm that I am doing the work I promised that I would do. And I want to help other people start to sit down and commit to something that is hard, that is challenging. And that turned into this live situation. And I've always wanted it to be a live situation, but there was a couple of hoops to jump through. And we don't have to go super deep into that. But I started on Instagram, and at some point, Instagram was like, if you don't have 1,000 followers, you can't keep going live anymore. So I was going live on Instagram to a very, very small set of people who found me really early. And then that just completely exploded like 4 months ago because Instagram changed its rules. And I did not have 1,000 followers. And I started over on YouTube and TikTok. And YouTube and TikTok has grown significantly faster than Instagram has. And the population, the audience, people here, Alec included, have been super lovely. So that is how I got from whatever was going on in my past life to being here, doing live side splits every single day. Yeah. All right, I'm going to scroll through and see how people are feeling about that life story ramble because I was too scared to look at it and get distracted while I was talking. uh, let's see. Abundancia says, I have also wanted to do the front splits my whole entire life. Yeah. Yeah. Once I'm done with the side splits, I'll move on to the front splits. I think the front splits were actually supposed to be, like the internet says, the front splits are supposed to be easier to do than the side splits. But when I started this thing, I looked at it and I was like, I'm way better at the side splits than I am at the front splits. My hamstrings are super ultra tight. So I'm going to start with the side splits and then I'm going to go backwards to the front splits at some other time. And that is how that decision was made. Alec says, I have a tough time doing a perfect flat foot squat. All my Asian friends can do it perfectly. I see. Okay. This has a lot of different pieces. So if you have like really long, this bone between the knee and the ankle, I'm pretty sure it's called the femur. But the more I say it, the less convinced I am. If you have this bone really long, then it'll be tough to put your knee out as far as you need it to go in order to hang out in a deep squat. A lot of the compensation that you can do ends up being opening up the hips really wide, and you might be able to get into a deeper squat like this with your feet flat and down. Um, Sometimes it's just ankle mobility and getting those calves really loose. But sometimes it's just gonna be hard because you have really long legs, and the levers are gonna make that challenging. So I have no idea what's up with your legs, but good luck. Kendra says, "I love it when you pop up on my For You page." Thank you. I appreciate that. That's so nice. Okay, Evra says, "Very cool. That's so good to hear. Wow." Um, Alec 400 says, "Glad the algorithm gods blessed with your channel." Oh, you guys, that's so nice. Yeah, I'm gonna take screenshots when I'm in a bad mood. I'm just look at them and be like, "Look, people love me. I have friends. I have internet friends." Travel with Roxy says, "Thank you for sharing," and Abundancia says, "Yes, we are in this together." Lovely. Alec is gonna try to widen posture to get into that deep squat position. Yeah, it is really hard. If it wasn't hard, the world would be squatting better and chilling on the floor better and just operating better off the ground. And maybe I wouldn't have little blocks that I'm sitting on. I'd be able to rest in a squatting position. I can't. So there's plenty of things to work on, and I hope you have fun with it. I hope you enjoy the challenge of going, okay, what is my tiny, 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 tiny little bit of progress that I'm going to make today? Because at the end of the day, that's most likely all that's going to happen, right? Some of you have been doing the side splits with me for basically 2 months at this point, and I'm sure the progress you've seen in the first couple of weeks has been pretty cool. But you've also probably seen that my progress has been stalling out a little bit. And at some point, when the easy gains are through, it ends up just being, hey, I do this because I enjoy it and I make a little bit of progress. And over the long haul, I see it add up in becoming something awesome. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Abundancia says, "You do. I have internet friends." Yes, we appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. I think with that, I am basically ready to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for listening to me ramble about life and why the account exists and how I thought that side splits was going to be easy, but it is not. And for stretching. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoy practicing consistency. I hope to see you tomorrow. Cool. I'm wrapping up for today, hitting the buttons, covering the cameras, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.